In this lesson, we're going to take a look at how we can create custom number formats and apply those to our pivot table. Now, what do I mean by custom number formats? Well, currently in the pivot table, we have formatting applied to our values. And the formatting that I have applied is simply number formatting with a comma separator. And I have 0 decimal places. And if you recall, in the previous lesson, I changed this so that any negative values in our data set will show in red with brackets. Now, maybe I want to change the way that my numbers look. Maybe I want to have a currency symbol in front of my numbers. Maybe I want the negative values to show in a different color and also display a symbol. We can do all of these types of things using custom number formatting. So let's click in the sum of profit column, right click and go to number format. And right at the bottom here, we have a custom group. Now, when you come into here, you're going to see lots and lots of different types of formatting, and these are all custom number formats. Now, it might be that you find the formatting that you want in amongst this list, or you can simply build your own. Now, one of the issues that people have when they come into custom formatting is that they just don't understand what they're looking at with all of these zeros and hashes and brackets and things like that. So let's talk through that first of all, because that will make it a lot easier for you. Now, I'm just going to select this one just here. Now, the first thing you need to remember about custom formatting is that it's split into 4 parts, and each part is separated with a semicolon. So you can see here with the formatting that I've selected from the list, we have 1 semicolon in the middle. So effectively, I only have 2 parts showing. Now, the first part, so everything before the semicolon, this determines how positive values in our spreadsheet are formatted. Everything that's in the second position is how negative numbers are going to be formatted. And I could carry on going. If I put in another semicolon, whatever I type in next is going to be how text in my worksheet is formatted. And then if I had a final semicolon, that's when I define how 0 values in my spreadsheet are going to be formatted. So you can really control how each type of value looks. Now, when it comes to these hashes and these zeros, the hashes that you see here, these are variable placeholders, whereas 0 is a fixed placeholder. So let's do a really basic example here. If I was to type in 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now that's characters. So we have 6 characters there. If I press enter, Excel automatically will remove the first 0. Now, if I go into custom formatting and type in 6 zeros, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and click on OK, it's going to put that leading 0 back because those are fixed numbers. Whereas if we go back in and change this to 6 hash symbols, and click on OK, again, it's going to remove that 0 because those are variable placeholders. They can change depending on what's going on in the spreadsheet. So fixed and variable are slightly different. So if we go back into our number formatting and notice when I want to apply custom number formatting to my table, I'm not going up to here to do it. Now, the reason why is because it's just going to apply the formatting to the cell that I have selected. Whereas if I right click and go into number format, it's going to apply the formatting to the entire column. So let's go into custom and let's define a new custom format. Now, I want my positive values in the spreadsheet to show with a currency symbol. So let's put that in, and I just want them to be comma separated. Now, because the length of the number is variable, meaning it changes, I'm going to use hash symbols. So we're going to put a hash, comma, 1, 2. and then we're going to put a 0 at the end. So that is the formatting for our positive values. And you can see just above in the sample area, it's showing me what that's going to look like when I click on OK. And that looks exactly as I want it to look. Semicolon. I'm now moving on to formatting my negative values. So how do I want those to look? Well, if you want these to appear in a different color, you need to open a square bracket and then you can type in the color. Now you can type in things like red, blue, green, and Excel will use the standard red, blue, green that it has inbuilt, but sometimes those are a little bit hard on the eyes. For example, the green is a very, very neon green, which isn't great for accessibility. So I'm going to use color 10. And you can Google these, just type in Excel color codes and you'll get a list of all of the colors available. So I want my negative values to show in green. I want them to have a minus in front instead of brackets. And I want them to display a dollar symbol. And then we're just going to repeat the formatting that we have for our positive values. So hash, comma, hash, hash, 0. Now, in addition to this, I also want to display a symbol for my negative values, a little down facing arrow. So what I can do here is in quote marks, I'm going to open a quote, we're going to do a space, and then I'm going to press Alt 31, and that's going to input a little symbol. Close the quotes, semicolon. I'm now moving on to how I want any text formatted, and I don't have any text in my columns. I also don't have any 0 values. So I don't need to do any more. All I have in my spreadsheet are positive and negative values. So that's all I need. Let's click on OK, and you can see everything in the sum of profit column updates. So we now have our currency symbol, and check out our negative value. You can see we have the minus and we have that little down arrow. So now I can apply this custom format to the average of profit column as well. So we're going to right click, we're going to go to number format, we're going to go into custom. And if you've used the custom formatting before, you're going to find it right at the bottom of this list. There it is, just there. I can select it, click on OK to apply it to the second column. So that is just one example of how you can use custom formatting to really customize the way that your values look in your table. Of course, there are hundreds of different ways that you can completely customize your number formatting, but hopefully that gives you more of an insight and you can start to experiment and play around for yourself.